Are you thinking about making a move to the Franklin or Nashville area? If so, you probably have a lot of questions, and maybe I've answered some of them in my previous videos, but maybe you have some of these commonly asked questions that I just happen to get a lot. Stay tuned to see if I answer yours. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Davis and I am a local Nashville real estate agent. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to click the little bell below to subscribe as I roll out new videos each week about moving to the Middle Tennessee area and about real estate in general. So be sure to stay tuned. Okay, so today's video, I'm diving into some of the most commonly asked questions that I get. Maybe this is a question that you have, or maybe this is something that you haven't even thought of yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and dive in and see if maybe I give you an answer to maybe a question that you already have. The biggest question I get is, where is the best place to live? And that's really not a one size fits all answer. Everyone wants to be like, well, what are the best neighborhoods, or what is the best place to live? And that's a great question. It's a fair question, but here's the thing. What might be important to you might not be what's important to somebody else. So really and truly, that's a matter of us having a conversation. You telling me what it is that you're seeking, the kind of lifestyle you want, the amenities you want, what you basically want your new Nashville Franklin life to look like. And then I can help better point you into the direction of neighborhoods or types of homes that I think might be the best fit for you. So really and truly, that question, again, like I said, it's not a one size fits all answer. It's really just gonna depend on what is important to you, your situation, what it is that you're seeking in your move here. Number two is gonna be, what is the biggest problem? Now, this is not something that I fully recognized as a problem until I started having clients that moved here from out of state come back to me and they're like, there are just so many bugs here. So I would say that for people that are not used to bugs, that's probably gonna be one of the biggest issues that you're gonna run into. We do have a plethora of bugs. There are some, I've had some people come to me and they're like, it makes this funny sound. Is that a bug? Is it a squirrel? What is it? It's gonna most likely be a bug. So we just have a plethora of bugs around here. You are gonna deal with mosquitoes, but again, we've kind of learned how to navigate around that with the different sprays that you can put on and the different candles and scents that you can put out just to kind of help ward them off. But we definitely deal with bugs, and mosquitoes can be a big problem. Number three is gonna be, what's happening in the Nashville real estate market? What does the market look like here? So really and truly, each month I'm rolling out new videos about just updating you in terms of what's going on in the real estate market, but taking a big general overview right now. So we are very much in a seller's market. We are very fortunate because I know of other agents in other parts of the country where they are not quite as fortunate, but right now our real estate industry is just really moving right now. So what I mean by that is we have a really, really strong buyer demand, but we don't have enough inventory on the market to support all of that demand. And so what's happening is that's leading to things like bidding wars, and it's driving up prices of homes, which if you're a seller, that's a great thing. But, on the flip side, you could say, well, why would a buyer want to get into the market during this time? Well, interest rates are really low right now, and Nashville is continuing to be a really hot relocation town. And so financially, getting in now, the home values are only expected to appreciate. So again, you're going to be building equity in your home by getting in now. So it's kind of like you could wait till later, but then again, you're going to lose out on that equity that you would have built if you had got in now. So like I said, we are very much in a seller's market. Now for the Middle Tennessee area, the average days on market is right now sitting at 29, but really and truly, if a property is priced right and marketed well, it's going within a matter of hours or a few days, just depending on how long the list agent allows it to sit. And so it's really good to know this going in so that you have a good idea of what you you might be up against. It does make it a little bit harder, especially if you are, home shopping from afar, but that's where things like virtual tours come into play. So, and just kind of an overview of the last few months for you. So we were really picking up steam at the end of 2019, heading into 2020. We were seeing, kind of that buyer demand really pick up, and then the pandemic hit. And so everything kind of pressed pause for about 4 to 6 weeks, where people were kind of waiting to see what is going to happen. And then come May, it's like people's confidence just grew again, and our market has just taken off ever since. Now, we've seen sellers markets like this before. I remember a specific point about 5 years ago when it felt very much like this. And so even though it did slow a little bit, we've still been pretty much in a seller's market for several years now. And because so many people are now able to work remotely, and people are saying, okay, well, I don't have to stay in my state, they're now really looking at Nashville as a place to relocate for reasons like our affordability, cost of living, no state income tax, low property taxes. All of these factors are kind of driving a lot of people to consider the Nashville area. So we do have a lot of people that are actually choosing to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area, which again, just continues to fuel that buyer demand in our market, and we are trucking right along. So that's just something to think about. If you have specific questions about the market, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm always happy to send you all of the graphs and charts and things that I have. And again, be on the lookout for my monthly real estate market updates, but that's just kind of a general overview of what we've been dealing with for most of 2020. Number 4 is going to be, what is the political landscape in Nashville? And so really and truly, I feel like this is a hot button topic. And so for people that are not from the South, can kind of stereotype the South for us to be a certain way and think a certain way and act a certain way and all of that. But really and truly, Nashville, especially over the better part of the last decade, has really become a melting pot. And so you're going to be able to find people who are like you, think like you, believe like you. And here's really something to consider. So Tennessee's governor currently is Republican, but the Nashville mayor is Democrat. So that kind of shows you, like, the Tennessee area, the Middle Tennessee area especially, can be a melting pot. So again, if you think a certain way, believe a certain way, you can find other like-minded people regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum. Number 5, a big question that I get asked a lot: how do I make friends, especially with what we're dealing with right now? And so there's a lot of ways to get plugged into your community. So of course, if you move into a certain neighborhood or community, people, Nashville's been voted as like America's most friendly city, or one of the most friendliest cities. And so people are going to want to meet you from just the fact of you moving in. So you'll be able to build a community where it is that you live. And then outside of that, one of the best things about Nashville is that any sort of interest you have, you can find a group of people that are interested in the same thing, whether it's through a Facebook group, different meetup groups. There's almost a group for anything that you could be interested in, whether it's like rock climbing or going canoeing or whatever it may be. You're able to start to build even more friendships and more community through plugging into these different areas where you yourself are interested, or things that you're wanting to do. So you're going to meet people that way. And then, like I said, Nashville's really friendly. So it is not uncommon to go out somewhere and then someone strikes up a conversation, and before you know it, by the end of the night, you're best friends. So really and truly, there are multiple ways, whether it's through church, whether it's through different meetup groups, whether it's through an organization or a volunteer organization that is, of interest to you or close to your heart. There are a lot of ways to get plugged in. Now, of course, with the pandemic, it can be a little bit harder, but for the most part, it's not too hard to be able to get plugged in and to make new friends. Number 6, what's the weather like? Now, I did do a full in-depth video of what the weather is like, and you can go right here and check it out. But here's the overview. We have 4 true seasons. We've got spring, summer, winter, and fall. Now, fall is my personal favorite, and it tends to be a fan favorite here in the Middle Tennessee area, just because I feel like we really show off during fall with the way that the leaves on the trees change. It gives you those beautiful oranges and reds and yellows. And then you put that with the rolling hills, and it's really, really beautiful. Plus, fall gives us a little bit of a break from the extreme heat and humidity that we can deal with in the summertime. And so really and truly, we do have 4 seasons. Like I said, you can go check out that video. I'll also link it below, just so if you want more of an in-depth view. But with the question about the weather, people want to know, do we get snow? Yes, we get snow, but typically it's 1 or 2 snowfalls a year, and typically they're, you know, maybe a few inches at most. Now watch, I'll say that, and then this coming winter, we'll have like a huge snow, which would be right on trend for 2020. But yes, we do get snow, but typically it's not that much and it's not that often. And yes, we do get tornadoes. You may or may not know about the tornado that hit Nashville in March of 2020. That kind of tornado, that kind of strength is not typical. And most times you'll find that our tornadoes are in the more rural parts of the Middle Tennessee area. But, you know, like I said, as with 2020, the weird things are gonna happen this year. So unfortunately, we did have one that came through and caused a lot of destruction, did claim a few lives, claimed more out in the Cookeville area. But, you know, yes, we do have it, but the good news is there are different, if that's a big concern for you, there are different storm shelter companies that can come out and build a storm shelter for you in your home to hopefully give you a little bit more peace of mind should you ever need to use it. All right, so there are my most commonly asked questions. If I didn't answer a question that you have, please don't hesitate to reach out. All of my contact information is below. I'd be happy to answer any question that you have. If you are thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, please feel free to download my Nashville relocation guide. It's right down below. I will have a link for you. I'm 𝐋𝐈𝐊 Davis. I'll see you next time.